iMessage them.
How's everybody doing tonight? Are we only on 2? But we're... Okay. Alright, we're good. Packing orders. Hello, Pumpkin King. How you doing this evening? Just hanging out, filling some orders. How's everybody doing tonight? Not doing anything crazy, just filling some orders. How's the week been treating everybody? Well, thank you, Pumpkin King. Appreciate the follow. We're just hanging out, packing some orders, packing some little Mike Armstrong figures tonight. How's the week treating everybody? I need to, there it is. Doing a multi-stream tonight on TikTok, Facebook, or YouTube, and Twitch tonight. That's a rarity. Usually if I'm on live, I'm just usually on one platform, but we're multicasting tonight. Hello, Nose Candies. Is everybody ready for Friday? There we go. We got some viewers, but what? If you're on chat, throw a comment, throw a question. We can talk about anything. We can talk about technology. We can talk about 3D printing. No, Pumpkin King, it's not Friday until midnight. 7 more minutes. Alright, Drew, you're asking that kind of question, really? I got orders to fill. I got little mics to pack. You already know the answer to that one, Drew. I keep the same sleep hours as you do. The perks of owning your own business. For anybody that thinks it's a good idea to own your own business, you're crazy. You can either work a 40-hour week or you can own your own business. You can't do both. Although one of the perks of owning your own business is if you get up in the morning and you don't want to go to work, you don't have to answer anybody. You just go, not today. It's even easier to do it if you have employees. You can just text them, hey, not coming in, you're in charge. Shipping label on this one, and another order is down. Hey, Jesse, thank you very much for the likes. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, I don't go live very often. Well, honestly, I don't go live enough. I need to go live more. I've got, see this whole rack of stuff behind me? I'm getting ready to swap it out for new inventory, so I've got a bunch of 3D prints that I need to do giveaways on. So if you aren't following me already on TikTok, make sure you follow me. AM Digital Tech. Because we're going to be doing some lives here before too long, giving a bunch of stuff away. Especially with the holidays coming up, it'd be perfect time for people to get some cool stuff for themselves or to give as a gift. Throw a little mic in. So Jesse, how's the week treating you? Are you ready for the weekend or not? Hey, Pumpkin King, appreciate the likes. Thank you very much. Take that spot. Oh, Jesse, that's not good. Hopefully it's just hectic for just being crazy, but hopefully nothing bad's causing it. Now this week, a little crazy for me, but not as bad as next week. Next week's our Black Walnut Festival and just multiple days of chaos. It's fun, it's nice, but there's just a lot of people, and for a small town, it makes it interesting for the next few days. Oh, Jesse, that's not good. Hate to hear that. Hello, Kevin. How you doing tonight? An empty box. Yep, good. Won't be empty for long. Oh yeah, just don't give up. Buckle down, hold on. It's a bumpy ride at times. I've always found a good prayer always helps too. That don't hurt a thing. So next week will be the West Virginia Black Walnut Festival, and I don't know if it's a 70th, 71st, 72nd, something like that. And it's our yearly festival, and it is just 4 or 5 days. It starts on Wednesday and ends Sunday. 71, thank you, Drew. 71st West Virginia Black Walnut Festival, and Drew with WVRC is going to be down there right in the middle of all the fun and festivities and the chaos. It's just basically several days of poor financial and health decisions. There's all kinds of foods and crafts and parade and carnival and you'll spend money. Turkey legs? I don't know. It depends on which food vendors are there. I know they're going to have one of the vendors is smoked meat's going to be there. The funnel cake booth is always there. The funnel cake has become just kind of a cornerstone of the festival. But it's a week of, like I said, poor financial and health decisions. I've been watching what I eat for the last couple of months, and I'm down 20 pounds, but I got a feeling that all that's going to be for naught after next week. After funnel cakes and Italian sausages and pizza and barbecue and all that good stuff. But if you want to see what actually goes on during the Black Walnut Festival, there Drew Miller 30 Drew Miller 38, he owns the radio station WVRC. You can check them out on all the socials, WVRC FM. He's on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, everywhere, and he will actually be broadcasting live down there the entire weekend. And it is a sight to see nonetheless. Oh, I know, Jesse. Yeah, I've made funnel cakes at home, but it's just that it's the smell of the burnt grease that has been sitting there all day doing nothing but with pancake batter sitting in it, and like the extra thick layer of powdered sugar and just the hot fudge on top. I mean, it just screams cardiac arrest. Yes, fried Oreos as well. We've done fried Oreos. Back in college, my wife and I, when we was dating, we spent like an entire weekend just deep frying stuff. We deep fried Oreos. We did candy bars. We tried pickles. Pickles is messy. Deep fried pickles is messy. Like, if you're gonna do deep fried pickles, you just have to have a different vat for just that, because there's so much stuff that falls out into the grease that you can't use it for anything else. Ooh, deep fried zebra cakes. That's a new one. Now, I did try something the other day. Drew and I have a buddy that is our local Little Debbie distributor, and we tried Little Debbie oatmeal cream pies with the pumpkin spice stuff in the middle. Holy cow. Like, if you like pumpkin pie, that takes pumpkin pie to a whole other level. Like, I love the regular little pumpkin faces, the little pumpkin delights. I think that's what they call them. I always call them pumpkin faces, or pumpkin faces in West Virginia dialect. I've always loved those. Like, I'll sit and wait all year for a good pumpkin face. I know. But those oatmeal cream pies with the pumpkin stuff in the middle was, right there, right with it. Yeah, Drew's talking about our buddy Boots. Boots is our local Little Debbie distributor, and Drew and I have both been losing weight, and Boots is kind of like that drug dealer, like, hey, look what I got, and like we're like, yeah, I need a hit. I need oatmeal cream pie. I need a pumpkin delight. I need sugar stat. And Boots is like, I got the hookup for you. So just completely demolishing all the progress we're making. But he's a Little Debbie guy. Like, you can't be mad at him. So has anybody in the chat tried? Yes. Just take the zebra cake and like put it in a blender. Although I do have to say, with all the changes in my eating habits, I have found some actually good desserts that are healthier choices than zebra cakes. The other night I basically called them protein haystacks. They was cornflakes crushed up with peanut butter and peanut butter protein powder and a little bit of honey, and then we melted some dark chocolate chips down and smeared those on top, and actually made them for the football game for the broadcast crew. And let's put it this way, there wasn't any to take home, and they are a lot healthier than a Little Debbie cake. It don't hit you in the heart as good as a Little Debbie cake, because right there just unwrapping a smile. But they were good. Deep frying the zebra cakes with pancake mix. Now you're just tempting me. Like, that sounds nothing short of amazing. Pancake batter deep fried. That's awesome. Now, has anybody made any fun stuff in the air fryer? Like, that's my little thing, is I like to experiment with the air fryer. And I've seen where you can make like basically the same thing, but use the we call them wampum biscuits, the two biscuits that you whack on the counter and they go poof everywhere. They say use that instead of like the mix, so it doesn't dirty up your air fryer. But you can pretty much do the same thing that way with just the canned biscuits. I've seen people make donuts out of those and stuff like that, but I've not tried it. But I have tried hot dogs in an air fryer. Has anybody tried hot dogs in an air fryer? That is way better than what I thought. And my wife and I, we made steaks in the air fryer. And this is the crazy part. So we got them out of the freezer late. We didn't think they was going to thaw in time. So we actually took, and I found it, I Googled it. Actually, I saw the video on TikTok. That you can take the steaks right out of the freezer, throw them straight into the air fryer. Don't even have to defrost them, and cook them in the air fryer, and they come out perfectly. So we tried that. We took them out, threw some seasoning on them, and threw them in there. And I think it was like 10, 12 minutes if you want it well done. Like 10 minutes on each side, 12 minutes on each side if you want them well done. And I was shocked. Like, they were amazing. Because I figured with it being frozen, going straight from the freezer to the air fryer, that there was going to be like some toughness or no. Like that seasoning, like it was perfect. We didn't even cut the fat off of it. Like we just literally out of the bag of the freezer, straight into the air fryer. And it was so tender. Like you could almost cut it with a spoon. It was that tender. I was shocked with it, with the no prep time steaks. Hold tight. I'll be right back. I need to go get some more airbags. One of the perks of having orders come in all the time, you get plenty of shipping materials. Really cuts down on your expenses for shipping materials. Alright, so there's 4 of them done. I gotta say, the air fryer is one of the, in my opinion, one of the best inventions ever made. Like, I love a deep fryer, but the air fryer, it cooks the same, it tastes the same, there's no mess. A couple years ago, my wife, for Christmas, got me, I call it the double barrel air fryer. It has it's like one big basket, but you can use a divider. If you use the divider, you can actually cook 2 different things at once. You can literally air fry on one side, broil on the other, and you can set your different cook times, your temperatures, and then you can have it sync so dinner finishes all at the same time. It's wonderful. Oh, you saw that? Yeah. Oh man, yeah. The Macho Man inspired Grayson Slim Jim holder. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, when Grayson came up to do the show up here in Spencer, he and I are big fans of wrestling. Like last year for Thanksgiving, we didn't spend Thanksgiving with our families. Our families got together and we spent the entire weekend at WrestleCade. So Grayson and I got to spend the weekend acting like 12-year-olds, seeing all these real-life superheroes that we watched as kids, getting pictures, autographs, talking to them, just the whole thing. And he found, of course, I knew he collected them. I knew he collected the Macho Man Slim Jim holders, and we actually found one more to add to his collection while he was down there. And then I saw him a while back make a post of a Slim Jim holder of his own with his face. And I was like, well, I can make that. So I went and made him one of his own and gave it to him after the show when he was up here. And I don't know who was more excited. Like, I don't know if I was more excited for him or he was more exciting on receiving it. I mean, that was, I make a lot of cool stuff. I designed some pretty cool stuff, but that one ranks pretty high on me on the coolness factor. Just because for the kid that could barely pass art class in school, to be able to do stuff like this, I still surprise myself. Like these, like this is another comedian that I'm a fan of, and this is Mike Armstrong. If you haven't looked him up, make sure you check him out. He is hilarious as well. Mike's been on. He's the ex-cop that's on Bob and Tom a lot. But Mike run into some health issues recently. He's battling cancer. I don't know Mike from. I mean, I'm a fan of his, but he don't know me from Adam. So I sent his wife a message, and I was like, "Hey, I own an IT company in West Virginia. Something I know you don't know me, but I'm a fan. My wife and I are fans of Mike's. Like, Mike was the first comedy show we'd ever went to. Would you be interested in us helping you guys out with a fundraiser, making action figures that look like Mike holding a microphone performing stand-up?" And she absolutely loved the idea. So I told her, I was like, we'll handle everything. You've got enough on your plate right now to try to make sure Mike gets on the mend and all that goes with that. So I'll make one up. I'll send it to you. Make sure you guys are full, get your full final approval before we do anything. So I sent it to her on Thursday, and she got it. And by Monday evening, we already had a deal in place and all that. So the figures are actually available on our website, and 100% of the profits go straight to Mike and Petra. I'm not making a dime on these. The only money I'm pulling from this is to cover the costs of the material, and of course Shopify's our website host, so they take their cut, but the rest of the money is going straight to Mike and Petra. And just a fan trying to help out, and thankfully it's going well. We've sold. Well, I shipped a batch out this morning, and this is. I still have this much of orders to pack tonight, and I have 2 printers going right now making figures, and both of them do 9 at a time. So I got another batch of 18. It should be ready sometime tomorrow. So let me see. Do I have any Stranger Axolotus? I gotta look that up. I don't know what that is, but it feels like it's something I should know. Hey, G-Thing, what are you? Oh, okay. For some reason, I think I might. I'm going to take a picture of that comment. I'm going to look it up. And if I do, I will run a test print and make it available on our website and the TikTok shop and get that going. So yeah, I will definitely find that out. And do I remember Rock and Roll Stress? Yes! Okay, so fun story. Yes, okay, yes, Rock and Roll Express. Yes, I do remember Rock and Roll Express, and actually, Ricky Morton was at WrestleCade last year and actually wrestled. He did a couple of matches, but yeah, that one was cool. Was seeing Ricky Morton, and like I was. When I heard he was going to wrestle, I'm like, really? Like, at his age, like, this can't be good. But I gotta say, they framed the match around where, like, he wasn't taking big bumps. But it was, like, he was still out there, and he could still keep up. And it wasn't like, oh, he's still trying, like, no, like, they framed, like, he wasn't, like, pulling any Rey Mysterio, like, big, Eddie Guerrero frog splashes off the top rope or anything like that. I mean, he wasn't doing anything crazy, but, like, he could still in there and throw a punch or two. It's like, okay, I can buy this, I can take this, because they're just some people out there that, you know, love them for still being able to go out there and hustle, but there's like some of them like, you know, come on now, like, do you need to go out there and still damage do harm to your body like that? So Ricky used to be your neighbor. That's cool. Okay. So are you and Carrie buddies? Like since you used to be neighbors with Ricky, like are you still in contact with Ricky, or is Carrie? Are you and Carrie buddies? Because that's cool. Before we saw Ricky at the gym. Oh, that's cool. So I haven't seen. I didn't know Carrie had a son that was wrestling. Is he just fully on independence, or is he at like MLW or anything like that? Because I didn't know his son was. Well, I didn't know he had a son, and I didn't know he had a son in the business. So. So I am getting completely educated tonight on that. But I gotta say, if he's anything like his dad, he should do alright. I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and they was talking about like second and third generation wrestlers, like who's good, basically who's good, bad, and the ugly on all those. And there are a lot of second generation wrestlers that made it big, but didn't. The roll with ice just didn't go their way, and like there was so much possibility, creative wise, that they could have went. They just didn't. And one of the ones they was talking about was one of them was talking about was Kurt Hennig's son, Mr. Perfect's son. And it's like, yeah, he didn't get a fair shake. He should have been able to. He could have very easily, because everybody knew he was Kurt Hennig's kid. He could have very easily just been like the second iteration of Mr. Perfect, and everybody would have bought into it. Everybody would have loved it. Everybody would have just jumped in on that and would have went full bore with it. But they didn't. They missed that opportunity. Can't remember, and knowing Ricky, who knows how many kids he don't even know about. I can understand that. Always joke around all the time that thanks to my grandpa, he's the reason my dad won't let us do a 23andMe. Because Dad doesn't want to find out if there's any brothers or sisters he never knew about. Or another reason is he don't want to find out if somebody actually Grandpa owed them money and then come after us for the money. So there's that too. Grandpa liked to be adventurous, we'll just put it that way. Alright, perfect. Alrighty, all those are packed up and ready to go, so we'll get this thing. So one thing on my to-do list is done. So we'll program this police scanner tonight, and then hopefully the customer can come pick it up tomorrow. When I lived in the apartments where me and Ricky lived, at Robert Gibson was always coming by to see Ricky. Oh no, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know what I would do, like if I lived somewhere and like I had a celebrity as a neighbor. That would. But I know I freaked out when we went to WrestleCade last year and found out that Ric Flair was staying on the same floor I was. Like, I didn't see him in the hallway, but I found out when I saw the Winston-Salem police officer waiting at the elevator for him to come out of his room to go downstairs. Like, holy cow, I'm staying on the same floor as Ric Flair. Like, how cool's that? And then the hotel we was at was right across the convention center. So, like, we saw wrestlers all weekend long. Like, Umaga's son was staying there. Shane Douglas was staying there. I rode down the elevator with, I just drew a blank. Matt Riddle. Which I saw a video earlier today. He got in some kind of altercation at the TMZ set or something. Like, he picked some guy up and, like, dropped him on the table or shut him into a table or something. What's all that about? I didn't listen to it. I just seen it pop up on my Facebook feed, and I just kind of watched a glimpse of it and moved on. So, what was going on there? Are they trying to recreate the Jerry Lawler, Andy Kaufman thing, or is there something really going on, or am I just completely out of the loop on all of it? Oh, cool! Man, you just kind of like right in the middle of everything. That's there. There's that. Okay. Drop this down for a second. That's pretty cool seeing Brad twice and Matt Damon. I gotta say, the closest celebrity like bumping into to this day, my wife and I both think we walked right past Al Roker in New York City. We went to New York City. That's been several years ago. And hold on just a second. there. We was coming off the subway, and when we did, let me get the water real quick. And when we came off the subway, we just kind of had tunnel vision, like we was trying to get to where we was going. And when we did, we just happened to hear this guy as walking past go, "Hey man, I love what you do," and that's and all this and that. And I turned around and it looked like the back of Al Roker's head. And I looked at my wife like, "Was that Al Roker?" And she's like, "I think so." I'm like, "Great." Literally walked right past America's Weatherman and didn't even realize it. But if you ever go to New York, if you've never been to New York, and if you ever go, I recommend. It's kind of bad. Actually, Drew and I was literally talking about this earlier this week, about trying to go to a place like New York and actually enjoy yourself without being driven crazy on just people. Like, you can't go to New York City or Manhattan or Long Island or any of that without dealing with nonsense. Like, as soon as you stop and go like this, they nail you. Like, everybody's coming up, they're wanting money, they're wanting to say this, they're wanting to bums. It's just constant. So, like, literally, you see why people from New York are always walking like this, their head down, just going straight. Because, man, the second you stop and look up, they're just all over you. And thanks to that, my wife and I missed the opportunity of possibly meeting Al Roker. But even knowing that going in, we still got aggravated one time. We was walking down Times Square. We was going towards the Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, and I just heard this yammering in my ear. And I turned around, and there was this. He was a Buddhist. I don't know if he's a monk or whatever, but he had the whole get up going. And he was talking, and I have no idea what he was saying. He wasn't speaking a lick of English. And he was like, just trying to hand me something. And I wasn't thinking. I just took it and said thank you, and I just kept walking. Well, he kept following me and had this notebook open, and it was like just yammering and holding that notebook up. And it's like, because I was just going to chuck whatever he gave me. And then I turned around, and he was just still on me. So I took the paper, and I shoved it in his notebook. I was like, here, you keep it. And turned around, I told my wife, I said, he takes one more step toward me, I'm decking him right here. I don't care if I catch a charge or not. I'm not dealing with that nonsense. Like, I was nice, I was respectful, but now you're getting in my space and you're bothering me. So I don't know where he went or what he did, but when I gave him his sticker back, he bounced. So I was like, okay, we're good. But just big towns like that, I love going to New York. I wouldn't go down again anytime soon. Not until they get their act together. There's too much nonsense in that city. But love the city. Would never live there, but would love to go back when they get their act together, and it's a little more safer to walk around in there. Oh yeah, living in Bristol, how could you not? I mean, I couldn't imagine you not running into race car drivers everywhere. Yeah, that's another one. DC's not much better. I went to DC in the summer of 2002, and we had went on through our 4-H. Like, there was a group of us from around the state went to Chevy Chase, Maryland, and spent the week there. And like each day, because it was like 10-15 minutes outside of DC, like beautiful little community, but the National 4-H Convention Center was there, so we stayed there at the convention center, and we took a charter bus into town every day. And like each day we'd go to a different spot. Like we went to Grand Central Station, we went to the Washington Monument, we drove past the Pentagon, like a lot of stuff. Like we was there a week and seen a lot of cool stuff. Seen President Bush's motorcade go by. Now that's cool. I don't care who's in charge. I don't care if you, whether you like him or not, that's not up for discussion. But seeing a presidential motorcade come through is amazing. Like, so we was going up the street, and all of a sudden, like, the rule is, like, if the motorcade's coming, like, you get out of the way. We're in a big old charter bus, and the motorcade's coming. You hear it coming, and the driver's like, oh, no. So he takes this big charter bus and turns it up almost like an alley to get it out of the way, because the president, there's no red lights. There's, like, it's go. And it's either move or be moved. And so, like, they just come flying by. So we saw that. I think we saw it twice, like 2 different spots that week, and that was cool. Like, just seeing the motorcade go by and knowing who is inside there was pretty cool. But yeah, DC, like, the one thing that got me, of course, we went around saw a little bit of the White House and all the nuts around there. But like we was walking to Washington Monument, and there was guys in 3-piece suits, like way nicer than anything I'll ever own unless I win the lottery, sitting there bumming for money. I'm like, dude, you got a way nicer suit on than I'll ever own, and you're out here bumming money, really? Like, this isn't adding up. But still, fun trip regardless. Okay, so you was at DC a few years before that, yeah. Oh, really? Oh, wow. Yep, okay, yeah, you was there a couple weeks before that happened at the Capitol. Yeah. I mean, DC's another place I would love to go visit again. My wife's never been. I would love to take her. I think it's a little bit safer now than it has been for a little while. But, man, DC is so strung out. I mean, what to see was, like, New York City, it's strung out, but it's kind of centralized. Like, you could go land in a spot, and there's a lot of stuff to do in that spot. DC, like if you want to go to the Washington Monument, it's here. Oh, you want to go see the Pentagon? Well, you got to go all the way across town this way. Oh, you want to go to the White House? You just got it's strung out, but it's not conveniently strung out. Like, you've got to constantly be moving. There, you can't just take a day and like go on this loop to see everything. Like, it's all strung out, and she's always wanted to go, and I would love for us to go. But that's one of those you have to go for several days. And honestly, I was 15 when I went, so I don't know how that stuff, like where to drive and where to park and all that. That's one of those, it'd almost just like be easier to get a hotel room somewhere that doesn't cost $2,000 a night, and then just like get a personal Uber, like get an Uber driver, one that I feel comfortable with, like, hey, you're my driver for the day. You know this area. Here's where we want to go. Here's how long we're going to be in each spot. You come back when we're ready, and like, you're my driver for the day. I'm not doing 30 different Ubers. Like, You know the area, and I trust you. In that situation, if I can find one, you're it for the day. That's you. No, it wasn't a school trip. It was in the summertime, and it was through the 4-H. Like this, the 4-H did it. Like they spent, like it was like the whole month of like July. Like you went there for a week, and like different states were there. Like West Virginia was there. The week we went, West Virginia was there, Virginia was there, Kentucky, Michigan, Wisconsin, or as they say it, Wisconsin. They was there, and like we stayed at the National 4-H Convention Center, and it was cool. The building, like they had some dorms around, and like the main building was kind of like set up like a hotel. The basement had an arcade, an activity room, and you could shop and have pool tables and stuff like that. And then where we stayed at, the rooms we stayed in was like actual hotel room style. And like it was just our group of there was 15 of us from West Virginia, 3 from our county. And we went and we stayed there for a week. Like when we was there, we went to the Capitol one day, and we actually got to go sit in on a session for a little bit. And then we got to meet our senators and stuff like that. That was pretty cool. Like we got to go in their offices and stuff like that, and meet them, and then throughout the week, like they would take different spots. Like there was one day, like we went to Mount Vernon one day. We went to Arlington one day. That one was cool and humbling at the same time. Like just the cool factor of seeing it. But when you walk through that gate and you look over to the left and you see a family, they're doing an actual funeral ceremony, that slaps you with the humbleness real quick. Love the experience, but when you walk in and you see the little white headstones and you know what those represent, that's cool. But then when you look out in the distance and you see a family, they're burying a loved one, that slaps reality with you real quick. We actually got to see the changing of the guard. That was cool. That the timing on those people to get that, and they're not looking at each other. Like most of that ceremony, they're based on the timing of their steps, and you hear the click simultaneous with their backs to each other is just phenomenal. Yeah, that's cool. Also, you went to DC on a school trip. So so my 8th grade year, our school, we were supposed to went to DC, but long story short, there was a whole fiasco and wound up, they didn't raise enough money for a school trip to DC, so we never went. That's why I went with the 4-H. So when you went with the school, did y'all stay at a hotel, or how did all that work? Like, did they just bus you guys around to each side, or did you like break up in groups? Because honestly, as a kid, that was cool going to DC, but I can't imagine, like, the anxiety level for me is crazy. Just the thought of taking like 60, 80 kids to DC and like responsible for them. That's a hard no bueno for me. Because like I said, there was only 15 of us when we did it with 4-H, and yeah, we all stuck together, but it was manageable. You're talking 15 teenagers that were mostly responsible. I mean, we was teenagers. We weren't perfectly behaved children, but we weren't heathens either. There was a classmate that found out her father that she hadn't seen in years. Oh wow! So she found her dad on that trip. Holy cow. Alright, now you've got me intrigued. You can't leave me hanging like this. So, when she found her dad, like, was she looking for him? Was he looking for her? Was this like one of those just bumped into him in a coffee shop situation? Like, what's the details on this? I need details. And I see your next comment, like, oh, that's a whole other different discussion, but, like, how do you find your dad on a school trip? And, like, because that's a whole other situation, like, because I mean, obviously the kid's not going to go with the dad because the dad's obviously not been in the picture, but that's gotta raise like everybody's red flags up like immediately. Like we gotta leave town now. Like this kid found their dad. Like what's the protocol? What's the protocol for this? Because that's not in the manual. Like we got if a kid gets lost or comes up missing or runs away, like we got stuff to do on that. But when a kid finds their dad on a school trip, like. That page isn't in my menu. I don't know how to handle that. The last she seen, he was homeless there. But when she found out he was still there, but was employee there. Holy cow. Oh, okay, so she went looking for him. Okay. Okay, well that drops the creeper level down a couple of levels. Like she was actually looking for him. Okay. Because I just thought it was one of those, hey, she walked down the street and all of a sudden, oh, there's Dad. Like, okay. Well, I still like, wow. Those poor teachers and chaperones, I couldn't imagine that situation of like, hey, can I go over and talk to that man? Yeah, I know you don't know him, but that's my dad. Or he come running up to hey, that's my daughter. Yeah, some guy that you don't know runs up and says, hey, that's my kid. Yeah, that'll get you a guaranteed, at the bare minimum, mace to the face. Yeah, just some random person running up, hey, that's my kid, and nobody can vouch for that person. Yeah, that's mace to the face right off the bat. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to address the comment, the girl stayed at a church and us guys stayed in a homeless shelter. You stayed at a homeless shelter. Staying at a homeless shelter on a school trip. I'm asking questions like, did y'all have your own dedicated area? Or like, was you like sleeping beside Otis, the town drunk? Like, what was this? Or did like the teachers use this as like a scared straight deal? Like, hey, if you don't get straight A's and do what's right, you could end up sleeping beside that guy. Okay, so it was an empty side of it. Okay, I'm not going to call you out, but I'm saving this. I got to do a video on that tomorrow on my LOL page. That's crazy. Oh, buddy, I'm not denying it. Some of these things, some of these situations these schools put kids into, like, I believe that wholeheartedly. Not question it for a second. But holy cow, Like, you know that there had to be discussions before all this started. There wasn't like, you know, this wasn't just happen circumstances like, oh, we got all these kids and we don't know where to put them. Oh, well, we'll take the girls to a church, but the boys get to sleep with Otis. Like, no. Like, I want to sit in that parent-teacher conference, PTA meeting, board meeting, where this was discussed and voted on, and the majority thought, hey, yeah, send my kid to D.C. and let him sleep beside a homeless person. That's perfect. Dad of the year. Holy cow. Like, oh man, that sleeping in a homeless shelter on a school field trip. So, in that situation, and seeing the level of crazies running around D.C., like, what was more, I'm going to ask you, what was more interesting, the sights of D.C. or the sights of D.C. / homeless shelter? Because for some reason, I think you can get just as much, if not more, entertainment in the homeless shelter than you could at the Washington Monument. Just when I think the story can't get any better, you add this. One of the teachers got arrested on this same trip. Not once, but twice. Details, you know I need the details. If you're going to ask us, if you're going to post this stuff and lure me in, I need details. Because you can't leave me sitting here hanging, wondering what happened and how your teacher almost got arrested. Okay, almost got arrested. I apologize, sorry. I missed the about word. I completely skipped over about, and I just saw, and one of the teachers got arrested twice. So was this trying to protect you all, or was this like his teacher decided to go day drinking and and got a little overserved? Man, because considering that y'all stayed in a homeless shelter, that alone could cause anybody to almost catch charges there. So now that I know that this is apparently a thing, that your kids can be sent on a field trip where they could experience more than what you think, like, now I'm going to really pay more, well, double check and make sure I know all the details on my child's field trips. No, one when we were almost there and was driving a little too fast and they had the lights on inside the van. Okay, so potential speeding ticket, no biggie. But hold on, I thought lights in the van on weren't illegal. Because I know when we was kids we always heard that a lot, like, you can't leave the lights on in the vehicle, that's illegal, you get pulled over and arrested or whatever. But then I found out that that wasn't illegal, so apparently it is or was in certain areas. The second time he about got into trouble was having a small pocket knife going into the Capitol. Yeah, Yeah, you can't have no danger sticks on you going into the Capitol. Any of those buildings. That's that is highly frowned upon. That's one of the things that about drove me crazy when we went to DC was I'm the world's worst. To this day, if I've got cash on me, I will not use pocket change. So, like, I just don't. Like, for me, it's an inconvenience having to pull that change out of your pocket and count it out and end up dumping on the floor and all that stuff. I'll just put it in my pocket. Well, during the day, I'd go buy like a souvenir or a pop or something. I'd have all these change, and we'd have to go, when we would go anywhere, like the Capitol, Washington Monument, whatever, there was always security. So here I am, looking like a daggone coin machine, out here just unloading my pockets full of change for me to go through the metal detector, and then my belt set it off and still get wanded, and then put all that change in my back in my pocket to rattle around to the next stop. Oh, and it was the keychain type too. Oh, okay. So yeah, it's one of those where, well, it shouldn't be an issue, but apparently it is. Yeah, they don't. DC security don't play. Like, they have zero hesitation on ruining your day. And here's something that to this day I still don't understand. Why don't they put like a little treadmill or a conveyor belt or something? That would have been funny if I was about to, if they would have came up and tackled him. But here's my thoughts. This one thing just drives me crazy. It's going through a metal detector. What's the proper procedure to step through those? Because when I go through them, I either go through them too fast, or I've been told I go through too slow, which makes it trigger it regardless of what level of metal I have. Like a belt buckle or something like that. Drives me crazy. I'm like, why don't you just put a treadmill or conveyor belt, something on there where I step on the little platform and it runs me through the exact speed that it needs for me to go through safely and to scan me all at the same time. Like, why can't you do that? Because if not, I'm either going to like take that big long leap through there, or I'm going to ballerina tiptoe it through there and set the machine off and still get wanded. Or how about you just wand the person either way and be done with it? But I still say those because 99% of the people that's going through there is going to wind up getting wanded anyway, because it's either going to be a belt buckle, earrings, or steel-toed shoes. Something's going to set them off, and you're still going to get wanded anyway. So why don't you just cut out the middleman, wand everybody, and be done with it? And the ones in DC don't play. Now, I went to, we was going to a national competition for Skills USA through our vocational school in Kansas City, Missouri one time. And along the way, we stopped at St. Louis at the Arch. Those people, those security guards weren't the same as what you had in DC. One of the guys that was with us, he had a hat on and had a fish hook on it. He goes through the metal detector, goes off. She wands him. She sets your belt. He takes his belt off. Goes through again, sets it off again. She wands him again. Can't find it. He takes a step back, goes through again. Goes off again. I yell at him, Wally, take your hat off at your fish hook. And apparently, I was interfering with that lady's job, trying to help her out. She got all snotty. I know what I'm doing. That won't set it off. Okay, fine. So Wally listens to me, takes the hat off, goes through, and guess what? It doesn't go off. shocking, I know, but I was like, see? But what do I know? I'm just a dumb hillbilly from West Virginia. I don't know what I'm talking about. Your stepdad has bolts and screws in one of his feet. He has to carry his x-rays with him. Oh, when he goes, oh man. So you know, man, I feel bad for your stepdad because you know that you're going to get some new young punk that wants to prove something. And like, your dad shows him x-rays like, hey, I got metal in me. And then just being a little turd, oh, sir, now we got to make sure that that's really your x-ray. Now we're going to have to really thoroughly check you. No, you're just being a jerk. Like, who is going to purposely carry around x-rays with their name, their social security number, all their identifiable information on there? Who's going to purposely like carry around somebody else's x-rays just to get through the metal detector for fun? Like, no, that makes no sense. Yes, and because they don't believe him on why they keep going off. You would think, like, of course, they could fake it just, well, I mean, they could fake the x-rays, but you would think that they could give him, like, a little card, like they do the heart patients. Like, a lot of heart patients, when they get to, like, the pacemaker, you know, they have a little card with them that they carry on their person when they go to drive, so if they ever get pulled over, like, they can hand the police officer, like, hey, here's the reason I'm not having I don't have a seatbelt on, like, I can't wear one or it'll affect me. Like, you would think they would be able to give him a little card like that instead of, here's my x-rays. But logic nowadays, common sense isn't very common anymore. So something simple like that, it would take them 30 years to develop a card that says, this person has metal in their body. But now I can see them messing with, like, yeah, all right, good one, buddy. Yeah, you really got a metal rod, and you're like, yeah, people. Although I did have a buddy of mine one time set his buddy up. We have that same problem up here. Tell a story on a guy. This wasn't one of our county locals. This was in another county. Years ago, if you was collecting government assistance, you had to work so many hours a month to be able to collect your government assistance. So they had him working for the city police department, just road check. So he pulled this guy over, and he walks up to the car, and the guy's from out of town, and the cop looks at him, shines that light in his face, he goes, "Do you know where you are?" And he goes, "No." And he tells him where he's at. He goes, "Where are you from?" The guy goes, "I'm from Chicago." And that officer looks at him and goes, "Don't you lie to me, boy. I seen those Illinois plates." Doing West Virginia proud right there, buddy. Yeah. You caught a big scary terrorist right there. Yeah. That man's from Illinois. He's lying because he says he's from Chicago. I think that's one of those examples that they used as to why people shouldn't have to work to obtain government assistance. Like, you hear that and you're like, yeah, there's There's something going on there. I have not been through Bristol's or the Bristol Virginia Cops Pad 2. I was going to tell a story of a buddy of mine. He almost wound up, the guy he worked with, he almost caused that guy he worked with to end up on some checklists. So they was going to the airport. They had to catch a flight for a conference. And his co-worker had knee surgery a couple days before, so he was on crutches. So they're going through the airport, and my buddy goes, I didn't think nothing of it. He said, I just thought it would be funny. He said, so here's his co-worker with the crutches, and my buddy walks up to a TSA agent and goes, hey, that guy right there, something's not right with him. Like, he's really talking weird and stuff, and there's just something not right with him. And she's like, okay, well, thank you. Never gives any more thought about it. So he goes through this little checklist, the little checkpoint, turns around, and his coworker's missing. He's like, oh, well, maybe he went to the bathroom or something. So they get to the gate, and he gets on the airplane. He's sitting there, and the seat's empty beside him. Captain gets on and goes, folks, we're going to be a little late. We had a situation, but no worries. Everything will be ready to... Hold on. Everything will be ready to go here shortly. So his coworker gets on the plane, crutches and on, sits down, and goes, man, I don't know what happened. He said, all I was doing was trying to get to the checkpoint, and all of a sudden, these two guys come out behind me, grab me on each arm, and basically carry me to this room, tear my crutches apart, ask me what I'm doing there, what I'm there for, and this, that, and the other, and it's like interrogating me for 20 minutes, and I had no idea what I did. My buddy starts laughing. He goes, that's what happened? He's like, yeah, man, it's crazy. He said, I didn't do anything. My buddy started laughing. He goes, I told the TSA agent that you wasn't talking right, so apparently they thought you was a threat. Needless to say, I guess that was a pretty quiet flight because he wasn't going to try to cause a scene on that airplane. Because he was already being watched. Oh, nice. So, yes, you got to catch both sides of Bristol all at the same time. Oh, man. Well, buddy, I appreciate you hanging out with me. I think I've got all my orders packed for the night. I'm going to send out an email or two, and I'm going to hang it up for the night. So, man, I appreciate you hanging out with me. It made this a whole lot more entertaining. Appreciate the follow. Thanks for hanging out with me, and yeah, keep an eye on things because we're going to do some lives here probably next few weeks. We're definitely going to do some giveaways and stuff like that. So yeah, you should be notified when we go live and maybe get some free stuff. So, man, appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate everybody stopping in, hollering and talking, and making this a lot more entertaining, a lot better than sitting here packing orders by myself, all boring. So, thanks, man. Thanks again. Everybody have a good night. Be safe. And